Well, since a lot of people want me to talk about Death Note again, I guess I don't mind it too much. You guys sure do love it though. I mean, it hasn't even been that long since my last video. Well, regardless, I got a video that I think is pretty fun. So, I don't know about you, but Death Note's soundtrack is one of my absolute favorite ones in all of anime. It's right up there alongside Madoka Magica and Clannad as one of the best OSTs I've ever heard. The music isn't just good, it's amazing. Tons of the tracks are memorable for one reason or another, and the heavy use of guitar and piano allow for a loud and enthralling, yet intense and exciting and even intellectual tone. Its music is so well made that it has multiple tones no matter the track, and the uses of them in several of the scenes is absolutely genius. So yes, I have an extreme love for this soundtrack. It's so well put together that it's impossible for me to hate it. Now, as far as my favorite non-opening track goes, that would easily have to be L's theme, and no, that's not just because he's my spirit animal, trust me. This track, beyond being the extremely catchy and interesting track it would initially seem, also seems to have a lot more thought put behind it. I don't mean they arranged it well, which, I mean they did, but that's not the point. I'm talking about the pacing of the song, the instrumentation used, and the overall meaning behind it. Yeah, you heard that right. This song, without any lyrics or vocals to be spoken of, actually has a meaning behind it. I know it sounds a bit crazy and it's a bit of a shock, but bear with me, because the way in which this song progresses isn't just interesting, it's absolutely genius. It's a track that perfectly fits not only L as a character, but does a good job on its own of recapping the events of the plot itself. Don't believe me? Well, sit tight, grab some snacks, and sit in a chair like both Elle and I do, because we're gonna crack this case one letter at a time. The track starts off with one melody being repeated over and over in piano. Note that the piano is alone, it's the only instrument, for the moment being at least. After a short time, more instruments begin to join the melody alongside it, like a single guitar and a drum beat. The beginning piano section is likely meant to represent L, beginning to theorize about Kira's current actions. As the instruments join in, more complications arise. Interestingly enough, the guitar itself is also likely representative of Light, or Kira himself, joining in on the fun. Why do I say that the guitar is likely Light? Well, for that I point you to Light's theme. The track is made up almost completely of a variety of guitars, only being joined in occasionally by a lone piano. A lone piano, you say? I wonder why they would correlate the piano into Light's theme. Maybe it's because the music is trying to link the two, just like they are linked in the series itself. So, from what I'd guess, the piano is L, the guitar is Light, and the drum beat could be anything that makes things more complex, whether it be the police themselves, Misa, or really any event in the story. They all continue at the same time and at the same pace. This is the planning and theorizing stage of the plot. All of the characters are trying to trip each other up and getting ready for a serious clash of some kind. Just as you believe the song will continue like this the whole way through, the guitar suddenly starts blaring loudly without any warning. The unexpected jump implies that Light just did something to throw everything off, and from what the song shows, it does throw everyone else off. The piano stops for a short time, and generally the beat is changed completely. Things are no longer going as L had planned, and Light's taken the advantage over L, even if for a brief period of time. As the song hits its second loop, however, the piano begins again. L has regained control and is back on the case, attempting to gain an advantage over Light. This second loop generally lasts the same period of time as the last loop and has the same general build-up or more complications as the two prepare for conflict. They may gain slight advantages over one or another, but this matters very little as the battle is about to begin again. The blaring resumes again, the two are clashing, with potentially others getting involved again, as signaled by the drum beat in the background. The clash goes similar to the last time, with neither gaining a huge advantage, or so it may seem. As the next chunk begins again, however, you'll notice that the guitar starts instead of the piano. Light has the advantage and L doesn't yet know it. The piano joins in for a short time, representative of the two joining forces for a brief time during the anime. After a short period of time, however, the piano is cut short, almost without warning. The song doesn't just fade to a crawl, it suddenly ends. A perfect representation of the ending of L's story, being cut off suddenly with no warning or ability to predict it. So, how was it? I thought this idea was pretty cool myself, so I hope you enjoyed it too. I came up with this idea on the bus, and I would love to continue doing analysis on music like this. Whether it be an opening, or an ending, or an in-anime track, give me a suggestion in the comments below. I'll be picking future music videos from these suggestions, so if you have something you want, suggest it. Who knows, your choice might just so happen to be my next choice. Also, tell me what you thought of my interpretation, or perhaps what you think the track might mean yourself. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.